Hey family, welcome back. This is John Harris, and I want to thank you for coming to our first edition, our first segment, The Real Deal, my first video series talking about the top 25 habits of successful people, of highly successful people. So I wanted to bring this video to you. Again, as I promised, my goal is to keep it short, under about 5 minutes, but just giving you what the habit is, a little bit of why it makes sense to myself and probably thousands of other people, and how we utilize it to grow our business each and every day. So let's start with the first habit. And the first habit is, if it doesn't work, fix it. If it doesn't work, fix it. And basically, all that means is if what you've been doing hasn't been producing anything, whether it's results, whether it's sales, whether it's increasing your business in any way, shape, or form, we've got to change what we're doing to find something else that does work. And so let's talk about that for just a brief moment, and let's put it into some examples. You're going out door to door, and you're knocking on doors, and you're leaving a business card behind, but you're never speaking to anybody. Guess what? You're probably not going to make any sales, or you're probably not going to get your product in front of the decision makers, and it's probably not going to be of value to you. And what more importantly, you're getting a little bit of exercise. So there's a plus side to that. But guess what? Things aren't working, so we need to change a few things. So that first habit is understanding and realizing and engaging what you're doing. If it's working or not, well, then we got to change it and do something different. Now, the second habit is to communicate the message that it is sound business to trust you. Now, one of the things I've learned in my industries that I've worked in for many years, and even in my current endeavors right now, integrity is one of the largest things you can actually have. Just doing what you say you're going to do. But more importantly, when you're speaking to someone, you have to convey that message that it is sound business to trust you, because you're not going to do anything wrong. You're not going to lead them down the wrong path. Your product or your service or your business really is what you're saying it is. And speaking with integrity will always, be in the forefront. But remember that you really got to get that point across. You got to communicate that in some way, shape, or form. And a lot of times, the way that I do that personally is that I will talk to someone and I'll really find out about them, about their business, about what's going on, and the solutions that I have, if they'll even be a good fit. And that way, that's building trust. You're not just going in there to sell a person something, or to, invite them into your new business, but you're really there to try to, work with them, be a consultant, if you will. But you want to ask a lot of questions, write the answers down. Don't be afraid to, pull out the old-fashioned pen and paper if you're a pen and paper type person, or bring out your iPad or Android tablet, so that you can take copious notes, understand what where they're at, and if you have a sound solution. And if you don't have a sound solution, by all means say, hey, I don't have anything for you today, but I'm hoping that we can build a relationship, and when I do have something that would be of value to you, that I can come back, and that will eventually build trust. But then you are communicating that they can trust you. Secondly is habit number 3. So it's habit number 3. Habit number 3 is to ask the right questions. A lot of times when I was in a position where I was a gatekeeper many, many years ago, and people would come in the door and try to sell me something, and a lot of times they were there just to sell a person something, and a lot of times you hear, oh man, I'm not interested, close the door, lock the door before they get there. But if you get your foot in the door and you're able to talk to the decision maker, even a gatekeeper sometimes, the person that's the receptionist, or the person that's at the front door, guarding the door, if you will, or even just a person that you're looking to bring on as a business partner, you have to ask the right questions. And if you're not sure what those questions are, well, talk to a person that you can mentor with. A lot of times they'll have information or questions that they've asked that have piqued people's mind or opened their mind to possibilities. And a lot of times that will give you the right questions to ask, if you don't know the questions to ask. So something as simple as, hey Jim, glad we could catch up, and I see that you've been doing well, but you're tired of the rat race. But let me ask you something. If I could help you gain your time back, if I could help put some additional money in your pocket or in your bank account, would you do me a favor and let's sit down and talk about this for about 15 or 20 more minutes, if you have the available time. And if not, when can I follow up with you and we can sit down and have a cup of coffee? Sometimes just asking the right questions to get to the next point or next meeting or next get together is always key. So remember, habit number 3 is to always ask the right questions. Now, let's talk about habit number 4, and that is take the lead. Okay, now what that basically means to me, and hopefully to you in your business, if you're, not really the shark type of person, the aggressive person, the one that's just going out there and making it happen all the time, well, guess what? In any industry, if you're the business owner, if you are the, the decision maker, guess what? You're already used to taking the lead. Use that in your own business. Be sure to you lead your meeting down the path that you want it to go. And some of these habits I'm going to be talking about will overlap each other. You'll hear me say things in an earlier habit that you'll hear in a later habit and vice versa. But always remember that you have to be the one in charge. You're the expert, right? And you have to have that confidence that I'm the expert. If I wasn't the expert, I wouldn't be here doing these videos and talking about how I apply these habits in my own personal businesses. And so when I sit down with someone, I'm taking the lead, whether it's in insurance, whether it's in direct sales, whether it's in building a business, whether it's online marketing, whatever it might be, you have to take the lead. And you can't let a person lead you down the path, because if you're not in control of your business, you're not going to win. It's as simple as that. So take the lead. That's habit number 4. Now, habit number 5 is actually one that is so important. I have to remind myself to do this because I tend to want to talk a lot or ask more questions or not wait till the person is finished. And so I'm going to tell you right now that you have to listen, you have to learn, and then lead. So if you ask a question, how's life been treating you? Well, you've got to stop and listen to what they're saying, because 9 times out of 10, that person will give you the information that you're going to need to learn about that person to lead them down the path that you want them to go. Think about that. You ask the question, you're listening for that answer, you're learning from that answer, and you're taking notes. But that's going to help you lead them down the path that you want them to go, whether it's becoming a business partner in your business, whether it's becoming a customer because they're just not business-minded, or they're just not interested in a business, but they aren't interested in saving money, or if they're interested in your product or service. So with that, folks, again, I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted to go over the first 5 habits. Remember, if it doesn't work, fix it. 2, communicate the message that it is sound business to trust you. Number 3, be sure to ask the right questions. Number 4, you've got to take the lead. And number 5, to listen, learn, and then lead. So hopefully that's giving you some information. If you have questions, please be sure to leave comments or just feedback in general. We appreciate you. We thank you for your time, and I look forward to the next video sharing with you, and we'll see you at the beaches of the world or at the bank, but more importantly, we want to see everyone at the top. God bless you. Have a great day.